The Marvel Universe is close to a complete revival. At the last Comic-Con San Diego, the fifth part of the Avengers was announced, in which the legendary Robert Downey Jr. will play the main villain. The actor will return to the cinematic universe 5 years after the release of the film Avengers Endgame, where he played the role of Iron Man. And although Robert left the cinematic universe at the peak of its success and promised not to return, he will still do it in a new film called The Avengers Doomsday, where he will play the role of Dr. Doom. How did this happen? On what terms will Robert Downey Jr. return to Marvel? And why will he play a completely different character at all? I'll tell you everything now. The Avengers Doomsday will be released on May 1st, 2026. It will be the first part of the duology, and the sequel with the subtitle Secret Wars will be released on May 7th, 2027. Previously, Marvel had other plans for the Avengers. They wanted to make Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors, the villain of the 5th and 6th phases of the cinematic universe. The antagonist appeared in the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and Loki TV series, and then he was planning to return to the Avengers, the Kang Dynasty. However, the plans were cancelled due to the Majors scandal. The actor was fired after accusations of beating his ex-girlfriend. And you know, this is truly the right decision. No matter how interesting Kang was in the old comics, and then in the first season of Loki, Quantumania showed this villain as boring and cliched as possible, which is why fans' interest began to plummet. They tried to make a new Thanos out of Kang, but let's be honest, no one gives a shit about him. In the last few years, the Marvel Universe has been sinking more and more to the bottom, but suddenly it was thrown a lifeline in the form of the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, and then the announcement of the Avengers with Robert Downey Jr. It is also interesting that 15 years ago, the Iron Man movie was able to reboot Robert's career. Now Robert himself is going to reboot the entire Marvel. Also, between the filming in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the actor managed to become a part of the mega successful film called Oppenheimer and even won the Oscar. I'm sincerely happy for him. Anthony and Joe Russo will direct the new Avengers. The directors have been working with Marvel for a long time, and most importantly, the return of the Russo brothers became the main condition for the return of Downey Jr. himself. As it turned out, a couple of days after the announcement of the movie The Avengers Doomsday, the actor refused to work with everyone except the Russo brothers, because he knows that only they are capable of making a really good movie. But it was not without a good fee. According to some reputable sources, for participating in the movie The Avengers Doomsday, Robert Downey Jr. will receive more than $80 million, excluding a percentage of box office receipts in cinemas, which will definitely exceed the $1.5 billion mark across the world. Thus, the new Avengers will bring the actor the largest fee in his entire career. The actor will play the role of Dr. Doom. He is a supervillain who rules the country of Latveria in Eastern Europe. Previously, Dr. Doom has already appeared in projects about the X-Men, but in the performance of Robert Downey Jr., the character takes a slightly different story. Initially, people thought that the Avengers Doomsday will present Dr. Doom as Tony Stark from an alternate universe where he succumbed to the negative influence of a rich life and went down a dark path, thereby turning into the villain Dr. Doom instead of the hero Iron Man. So he will be played by Robert Downey Jr. The idea is about the same as in Deadpool and Wolverine. As soon as the dark version of Tony Stark enters the main reality, he will reveal himself as a real villain, but other characters throughout the film will convince him that he should not do bad things and tell him about the greatest hero, who is Iron Man, a person who sacrificed himself to save the universe from destruction. But at the same time, the Russo brothers said that the character would still be named Victor Von Doom and would not become an alternative Tony Stark, although some connection with him would still remain, otherwise Downey Jr. would not have played the villain. In addition, in the old comics, Tony Stark became Dr. Doom twice, so the fan theory can still be confirmed. But in my opinion, the decision to give the actor another character is the right one because it is much better than endless milking. It's much more interesting to watch Downey Jr. in the role of such a great villain as Dr. Doom. Stephen McFeely will handle the script. He co-wrote Infinity War and Endgame with Christopher Marcus. Previously, McFeely had not written scripts alone. Well-known insider Jeff Snyder claims that Marcus was unable to co-author upcoming films due to unnamed personal reasons. Previously, the 5th and 6th Avengers had other screenwriters. Initially, Jeff Loveness, who wrote the script for the film Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, was appointed the author, but later he was fired because of the negative reviews of Quantumania. The next screenwriter was Michael Waldron, known for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and Loki, but he left the project for unknown reasons. The new Avengers will feature the Fantastic Four and the Thunderbolts. This was announced by the president of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige. Both teams will be presented in separate films. Fantastic Four will be released on July 25th, 2025 and Thunderbolts on April 30th, 2025. But Kevin Feige also plans to show us other famous heroes, and it is quite possible that the same Deadpool and Wolverine will appear in the new Avengers. In short, everyone remains in the black. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has been going through very bad times for the last few years. Failure after failure, low box office receipts, scandals, dismissals, investigations. But still, the management made the right decision and finally realized in which direction it was necessary to move forward to get the Marvel Cinematic Universe to regain its former greatness. Deadpool and Wolverine is a resounding success, which means the Avengers Doomsday featuring Robert Downey Jr. will become even more successful. That's just Captain America Brave New World can ruin the whole picture again and get poor ratings and low box office receipts without Chris Evans. I think one day he will be returned, especially since there is already a strong case in the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, where they have already done it, though not in the role of Captain America. Well, let's hope for the best. Let me remind you, the premiere of the movie The Avengers Doomsday is scheduled for May 1st, 2026. The filming should begin in early 2025. Write in the comments if you are waiting for this film and how you reacted to the return of Robert Downey Jr. Subscribe to the channel, like and share the video with your friends. Thanks a lot for watching. See you soon.